I was on for a moment now. I drew UTV so any Omayimo any Amakudosun some Ayensa can you no and no and I Edu Swaya Day Bramo na ye come say and you make us see boy and you make said this way chocolate drink also do here any in social special eyes and this means you more day and the more air protein and after special drinks in na ekahuna say and you make any aboafo enkaye na akampom asoyasene ID anwumre kaseboy ebramo sanso na DSTV channel 360 kasebo no ye twa egusuo na de bedi emu akosini bi enie kamam ka bi ye democracy sha se ye ejuma overshow de fenin fie aduasane nam so ama se de mpanyifo ahyase a wonom ebehye eho efa
Edom kuma wo mrase bi dwam de ato aban nim se aban toto o man sikasem yie Isan said Namsika Samso and 1966 Dr. Kwame Nkrumah by the two years.
NDC Amanyokono ebie nominations not just obia wo person wo gina NDC anemo epere should be dwane mampanye dwane bienu obetima akwakofa forms and am so amakane vice chancellor ama University of Professional Studies wone NDC mpanyifo bibinum aka aboma mo ekofa forms ne bi na wo gina o mampanye dada mahama nemu ene kofa
Yerembeko cry final Zizira wo German South bono mansan mantam no mu na okọ hwe classrooms a enkwalate esua de a asefem na cheche for crowd the staff room no eduase ena omo etena
I was on for way and ensembia ebi eka ho na edisie na edihwe ene aso no sokroji a ye de ebramo e wo UTV so e wo enkran abeka junction bidin ade afia edutwa no sa nene
David Ofori Safo
Africa sebono emu ensam enie Kamam kabi aya democracy esha asese eye adwuma ewo Ghana mraso bedefe emfie polepole aduasa 30 years ni achese bibia akoyie pa we mraso bedefo chese esefata paso mutumi esha ho fakese eno ntino enne oswafo anampo mraso bedefe chiame a woni ononyamfo abanbaben wagina mraso bedefo nyina anemu amekọ wiase no sese de wabie eye 30 years anniversary nampo celebration no anokama year pass said on be hase na wonom adan emfie aduasa afahye no edi
Ghana is blessed. A full Republican parliament is blessed. And my good self is more than blessed. And I'm grateful to the Almighty God for my life and for seeing me through up to date. As has been said, it serves as a tonic for revitalization and refocusing. As Therese Deal, the American author said, and I quote, "Celebrations infuse life with passion and purpose. They summon the human spirit." And it's with this I launch today's anniversary celebration. I launch this anniversary with immense gratitude to the patriotic citizens of this country, both departed and alive, because they made various sacrifices in order to birth our current democratic dispensation. They were the members of the Constituent Assembly who put together our Constitution. You all recall our late former President, His Excellency Flight Lieutenant General John Rawlings, together with members of the Provisional National Defense Council, which he led, whose commitment and steer proved invaluable contributions to the introduction of the Fourth Republic. So were there many other ardents of democracy of different political persuasions. Too many to mention, but it's important for this purpose to mention the late Professor Adu Boahen. And you know the role he played to see us as far as this.
The theme of their celebrations 30 years of parliamentary democracy under the Fourth Republic, the journey thus far is therefore apt, as it invites all and sundry to take stock of the many benefits we have reaped under the Fourth Republic and assess the various challenges we have encountered on our democratic journey. This occasion gives us the opportunity to maximize our capacity towards taking full advantage of our enviable democracy for the benefit of the citizenry. Parliament has evolved over the years, and constituency representation of various geographical spheres of Ghana has, through the first past the post single-member election method, expanded from 200 seats in 1993 and 230 seats in 2005, and the current number of 275 seats since 2013. Right, Honorable Speaker, permit me to acknowledge that we have indeed come far as a parliament. I am confident that as we celebrate 30 years of uninterrupted parliamentary democracy, we will strive to achieve more and leave a legacy that generations yet unborn would appreciate and build upon to entrench the principles of parliamentary democracy.
Kabima minkabi a koso Ghana mrase bidwafie emfie duasania benefo ahye hofano Chief of Staff Akosua Frema Opare akojina Ghana Mampani His Excellency Nana Ado down kwa kufuado ana mu ensem kakra atudwa na ensem a aban ekanyina ne se aban bekoso abon homoden se be ya asumdua oman Ghana yikura mu no bekoso a enso atra ho no mo.
Today we are considered a beacon of democracy and stability in Africa, where respect for the principles of democratic accountability, human rights, and the rule of law have enabled us to oversee 8 presidential elections in the Fourth Republic, with 5 presidential transitions and 3 peaceful transfers of power through the ballot box from one party to another. We have every right to be proud of this, and the celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Fourth Republic should inspire us even further to hold on to this status. This milestone is to the great credit of the ordinary men and women who make up the fabric of our nation, and indeed to the credit of Parliament, the second arm of government. I fear that often than not, many underestimate the importance of Parliament and consequently undermine its work. Honorable members, we cannot emphasize enough the role of Parliament in exercising the checks and balances needed on the executive. We cannot emphasize enough the role of Parliament as the voice of the people. And we cannot emphasize enough the role of Parliament in setting the tone for public discourse in the country. It is for the good of the country that Parliament continues to develop the capacity to insist on accountability in all aspects of our lives. And no institution is better suited for this than the representatives of the people. As President of the Republic, I assure you, out of duty to our children and grandchildren and to generations yet unborn, my government will do everything it can to help strengthen Parliament. We will not give up when it comes to deepening our democracy and guaranteeing the integrity of the electoral process, and neither should you, the Ghanaian people.
For year to work as bono eso. Adam Cassia, what Mrashbejafie, Wamobano Denny, I want to Onunyam for Oseche Mensa Bonsu Akasa, Ede Atugas, I bring Mrashbejafo, one to me, Ede Kamam Kabi, Ayajuma, and Fear Polypoly at Diasa, Ewa Mrashbejafino, I was a Quembias one, Womu Etumi Ejina so, na a year a memoraya constitution, so, one more than Muka cry, be filmuna, Sabia Dibisube, Shims the Baya, a bubble coin at one ama impunts you, as we him in Franca, a woman, a quancronos no, or how I could do be a main Asian. Sir, a memory I want about being ye be a free muno, bet to me as was our how no, I know.
Speaker, our country, 30 years into the Fourth Republic, is still struggling with issues of poverty, youth unemployment, chieftaincy conflicts, economic hardships, vigilantism, insecurity of all forms, and corruption in public life. Yet we can also not claim that attempts have not been made by the political leadership in the 30 years of our democratic dispensation under the Fourth Republic to address many of these issues. We have established institutions and also provided mechanisms to deliver public goods to our people. The 1992 Republican Constitution has no doubt served some good in the last 3 decades. I must, however, admit that some assumptions underpinning some of the provisions no longer hold or are not supported by current socio-political realities. This underlies the call by various stakeholders for a review of the 1992 Constitution. The Speaker, it is time to re-engineer our constitutional architecture to conform to today's realities. We need a constitutional order that frowns upon winner-takes-all syndrome and promotes collaboration, collectiveness, and consensus building in decision-making at all levels of governance. We need a new constitutional order that will ensure gender equity and, in many respects, equality to promote real development. Mr. Speaker, as you are aware, the Inter-Parliamentary Union, the IPU, has resolved that by 2025, all parliaments in the world must comprise of at least 30% women representation. The Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA, has adopted a similar position since last year. How prepared is the Parliament of Ghana to align without the relevant amendment to the Constitution? We need a constitutional order that will mitigate the winner-takes-all and prevent the do-or-die combat associated with our elections. We need a new constitutional order that will prevent the constant increase in the number of seats in Parliament. We need a new constitutional order that will put a cap in the number of ministers of state. A new order that will ensure that the Speaker of Parliament is a serving member of Parliament and that the Parliament of Ghana does not remain as one of only 9 parliaments in the world whose speakers are not members of Parliament. We need a new constitutional order that will accord Parliament the financial independence that is required to enable Parliament to stand on its own feet. A new constitutional arrangement that will liberate Parliament to perform its legislative functions without impediments, intended or unintended. The Speaker, as we celebrate our 30 years, I want to urge my fellow Ghanaians not to falter in their faith in our current democratic order, but to work towards its sustenance and improvement to bring meaning to the preamble of the Constitution that indeed, and I'm quoting once again, have established a framework of government which has secured for ourselves and posterity the blessings of liberty, equality of opportunity and prosperity, whilst ensuring unity and stability for our nation.
Eguswa wo Ghana mrashebidwemene afasha kesia etimi akoso ase na edom kuma no pani odon ano Dr. Casey ato Forsen to abamu panifo anim se aban to man sikasem yi pa esanse sikasem ana enkoyi nti na 1966 Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ban etuguye 1972 Kofi Abrefa Buzi anso aban no etuguye Dombe sra ban se wo sra mu a won hwe no ntoto man sikasem anso yi.
as we celebrate Ghana's 30 years of stable parliamentary democracy, it is important to reflect on some of the issues that has resulted in the death of the first three republics. First, it has been suggested by the people behind the 1966 overthrow of the Nkrumah government that Nkrumah's government was abusive and corrupt, and that he failed to adhere to democratic principles. I do not intend to refute or assent to these allegations. I only seek to remind myself and all other politicians that any party in power should endeavor not to engage in an act that will suggest that to our people that we are abusive, corrupt, and undemocratic. Mr. Speaker, permit me to briefly comment on the issues that suggested to have provoked the overthrow of Prime Minister Buzia's government, the Progress Party, in 1972. Buzia's government is said to have inherited $580 million in debt, representing 25% of our GDP in 1969. By 1971, the $580 million has increased by $72 million in accrued interest payment and $296 million in short-term commercial credit. This led to economic difficulties which compelled Prime Minister Buzia to recommend to IMF and for IMF to introduce austerity measures that led to freeze in wages, increase in taxes, currency devaluation, and rising import prices. This led to protests, particularly by Trade Union Congress. Mr. Speaker, the army moved to occupy the TUC headquarters and block the roads. Mr. Speaker, the rest is history. Mr. Speaker, let us reflect on these allegations of the masterminds of the coup that saw the overthrow of Nkrumah's government in 1966 and the Buzia government in 1972. In our reflection, Mr. Speaker, let us be mindful of our current economic challenges and work towards a common goal to address what is before us. Nobody can benefit when the economy collapses. We cannot also sit unconcerned. Mr. Speaker, we can also not underestimate the reaction of our people. If we fail, the people of Ghana has failed. Mr. Speaker, I believe there's a good reason for which our laws change the designation from opposition to minority. Both sides have a stake in ensuring good governance in the history of our country.
I was not for year chair home abasisia. Awusanfo emakwaba ebakase bono eso na yetwaso. Ya demo eko agona abodom na ye ne nsɛmtwo ne Fifi Davis atwa kase bono eso na amanebo efiri agona abodom abeto ya pon so ene sɛ abrantie bi ache wonu ankasa ne wofa asefo mienu ene omu ada asa anyanyem wo mo de api so yenkwa ahoma no so ne Fifi Davis entwa kase bono Fifi so atime ka ma joy
achaba me jodo
boko de
achaba nyame adwom ahodi wo
Fifi na de abeto ya punu su nukura bi wo mo ho
achaba asem no ende mekodu aguna abodom na mekodu school ho no mere howe bide ehwe nketesia ebien a baako owo 14 years na baako wo 16 years 14 years no owo oye de mayeka ndada na pieces na 16 years no owo JHS1 ewa aguna bodom school no mempeda me din batugwa na nda me kodu school ho na wo frɛ mo fra na bai no na ya asema oye asefem ti me bo nan ekɔ oye abofra na maame ne fie a me kɔton oye abofra na maame de oho na me bisa ne sɛ asemben na aba na ode asem ne tu meni ma asem aba ne sɛ onankasa ne chiriba enna baako eja baako ne chiriba a wo frɛ no oye kɔbena apia yi wo ba bodom a na dwuma oye eye won bambu ya wotwa wodi gu ka mu bankan na de beton kampoli menka ne sa a wodi gu ka mu ke bebre kɔton eno na abrante kɔbena apia oye a onam nkrase na otwa nkemponu no na odi gu ka mu na odekɔ na won nyina wote fie wa bodom na ne sister no na sei be 3 months ni na ne sister no ofa yifu na awoka no na awoka no one na wofase penin baako na kontan na wo nyina wo ba Sweden government hospital a wo bo na ye awo na ye den operation na den ti na obi mu kra twemmoja ma no na ojai abofra ketwa ma wonya 14 years ya yempere ye din din betugui oja no wo fie na eno na kobna apie ofa sa kwan no advantage no na okoto darling insan bi ode ma abofra no me ma abofra no oboy adechin na abofra no hu se kobna apie wa fa no poto a che se ne hu nyina ye moja na de na eno na asem no osan ka kira abofra no se yade na se oka obekunu nti abofra no ye din nti second one na ono ba physical be 3-4 days time na oba bi se ono na beda abofra no omboy no ene wan pene mo ne nanda nti abofra no de asem hye ne mu huhu osuro se na maame no obeka che na maame no po sa time na maame so da awoe so a wo in operation of Sweden government hospital nti obey den kwa na waka kira abofra no anu nature beye bosom ba ko etire no na onu kobna pie ne yer a otodo ba san ona abofra keto 32 years na wo yer mu ba san ba ko ogomu akosam krom ba ko abodom ho na ba ko so wo nya krom nti tede okwa ha na wakeda ha ne gumo odinin nti ne yer ba ko wo agomu osam krom no opon no ho na o ka kire 16 years ne say oh ma ofase ma na kejam na me yer we su adwuma ewie ma opon no ho nti yenkopon no ho ona me ba ne so na the same obeto darling dial insane na o sign de mikpa na odie duru she mikpa no mu di kan ho ma abofra no nti wobodu enyimbere na adebeti ma waye program no na onya abofrei dafem frama ene so ekowie sa nti sesi ameka sei abofra na owo class 6 no ono onyem 4 months because ono die 1 month and sana oni penin so die nti penin so nyem 3 months a nyankopo adom teacher for a omo mofra no school ho ena wo hu de wi amofra no ye bombom no mama abofra na maame wo mama na so te mo ba fa mofra nyina no ba Sweden government hospital waka check in no wo nyina wo ye positive a wala wo fa wo maame na chiriba aya na baako eja baako no one wo fa asefo ebien na obi na nechiba no ni nyina meka sei ono anyema efun no bobɔ we nim sisi aya asem na metu anamon kwa ahemfie de na nanom a wo abodom no wo ye wadwen de nyade a wo besoso asem no so ende ni officially a what say asem no and a wo frɛ im school fo ebien teacher fo na a wo ka ho ɛna awofo no ka ho na wɔyɛ meeting hwɛ kwan a wɔbɛdua so wɔde gwan wɔde akɛkyere ɔyɛ kɔbenapia sisi a wɔgwan wɔsusu sɛ ɔhyɛ agona nya kurom ne yere baako no hɔ ɛna mekodu fie so ne yere baako a ɔno mmofra no nyinaa ti fie no de ɔno ɔhyɛ den ma yɛrɛ wato dem na me suspect sɛ nsɛm bi a wɔbɛka wɔ fie hɔ biara na wɔama ne kunu information nti sisi ade agona swedro dɔksfo ɛna wɔtae kɔbenapia a wotwa nkɛmpo no wɔ agona bɔdɔm a nala ne sister a odi n'ekyi ne mba ebien mbai obi na n'ekyi ba wanyem ho agona bɔdɔm
ko class 6 dia na kyese wo so a what is say
ma wo class 6 ne wɔ 14 years
oh
ɛna ma wo JHS 1 no ɔwɔ 16 years nti ofa we no 1 month time na ofa we
okay
ɛna wo nyina wanyem abom nti sɛ class 6 ni mbom onyem 4 months ɛna class JHS 1 ni no onyem wɔfrɛ no 3 months na asɛm yaw ne sɛ ɔbaa ne kɔdɔf sukaya report wɔ Sweden dɔf no ɔda police for so nya medical report support ana wa ma ho medical form sɛ awofo na wo abodom na nka wɔfa nkɔ na doctor ansan no wɔfa mbra ana so skasɛm sisi na wɔnam mpa wɔhwehwɛ bosia 1000 Ghana mo frɛbien no na wɔde akasan no medical report na wonya bi still ama
okay
kɔbenapia no so wegwan a sisi a wɔhwehwɛ no
okay
nti nkɔfo a wɔhwɛ YouTube wɔbɛhu sɛ ne picture na ade na ɛda so a obeni wohwɛ n'anim a wedi saa adwuma no ɔde mu nsu kɛse de aba agona bɔdɔm kuro na makɔne
yo yɛda se ene wamanebo ebusuafo yensem tro ne Fifi Davis amanebo ene ode akoguo no kasa e de free agona abodom
eti sadia na yese abante ne musupa no abono ko wa wo fast
fo utotro mucho
tese unyam ba emma
say no yes
one try wanya no sense to start
14 15
yes
oh esa so you don't know me ensa
me ma bi nso egumema eni ma ase
wo pema
me ma na bi gu eni mu ase too much at least mo manyi o
se onsa mpese obetua nsa chi edintin krankrom de obma ne creditor one nursing
benefo de omoje
ombeje na se wontimi nkofa panyi bi na nkasa je credit na kokeke tinkrankra na no de saa no beye wo mo a
banyade yentu akase bo no so ne san kwa homa no eso ebiemu na nsen ewiembobre asesa weda na asesa kra enti efutu aba se yenya hweyie yedidie mu ne ade nyina no yensesam be ya no mask kra yenhye sanse mfuturo ewo mframa yehumi no pa na futuo we nyina eba nyina se bi mu mfa nya dwuma ukopie mu obafo nkwanta ne chechire mpatamu a yennuano ma ekope wuramu nam chenechenefo yi wo mo akotwaja to kwaye bi mu a adan a wo mo penam aba abewe wo manumode enti saa yese wo mani fulani fo na akabom edi sa adwuma no sere be a eja ne hyewi a enchensuo to na egu asase no so pe nwura be hye asese fufufuro a no na ntwie ne pepa na saa ma ne bo we nyina no yensancho ni Michael Akrofi my details o jina ho pe awofo
minia
bajumai
me da say emricha wa munie na eye newseka ewo Ebuakwadot Municipal Assembly echa eye ensana ho eto ho chese no kwasem ni omone fulani fo eso aye kopa enya ade omo pe fulani fo ewo masa asufie etu fune na so enam se aso tinti fulani fo no edom huku hinkaem bra omanfo na afezo panifo a eda Ebuakwadot Municipal Assembly ano onunyanfo alajo ma bodinga ene ne manfo ekọ sombo ko hwe fulani fo no no mapamo ma fi Ebuakwadot no nomdom ho akohinta baabi te se empire mu ba fo nkwanta titere eni nkura eto so a eni New Jabe North na afenso Ebuakwadot ebohye ewo dwuma aposu hyempotem ho no eho na sa fulani fo yi ewo na no kwasem ne se ekuafo abom homodin adom no baye no makotwa jasum se wom and the Asia na Africa baby na efemu sensan asen fifufuro e de amom se be ya omunantie ebenye ajanedi enye fulani fo no nko a yenuanu ma omukọ kopenam na omanum atenti omudi eja etinam no just omo she dan so cycle so eja asa omo yi nam na just atọ eye kwaye mu na asefom na omo se se jobe ewie yi nya ne ntese do kwasem nie eye sa apote mo me che ba for kwanta ne tikere e we Buakwa North municipality ni mu no eja de wo papa ampa UTV ye code ye ni kohwe ye nkogina ba bi nkan ne ayate eti ye kohwe ye no kwasem ne na no kre efuo ne kwaye anase nwura beye ahoma beye enum eko enfia ahise ejirebe enum ne ekohu se ye nuanom a sebio omukọ kopenam teno no enye fedi agrokra omani abre se krodom omuhwehwe nam ewo sa enwura ya ehyi mu a enya sanketo a ene nkusie de omayi bi papa omayi bi pa mo mo chese enyom no mo shi no eye fulani fo no mo shi no no mu ja ho no eno ma be so machi a omuhwehwe nam na fulani fo ne de omu yesa e de pe etiane e de mo mboa eno na kwafo no se bra fulani fo no nsamo ne omadi wa ha omadi nsamo ne papa yefo ye koko omo mfa ho no matwaja tum afi so ye bagire ne nema ya do no je so mu yi ni nyina na mo na nti awe nti ha ji ye papa e wo ho ena me kese mensi assembly no e ya de omo so mbeye nsa na ho no mo so omo so ko nti ombeye ntempa de ni mensi cash penny a owo Buakwa North ura alaji bodinja edi nkita mo chese wato nsa afre fire service force wo mehe no mundu eja no enu ntie ade ni hihye ya omo yese self-fulani form do mo akọ hinda omo di bone no omo etu omo sosa enu echi no so no ye nuanom omo ye chene to no wo ho no omo di jaye no omo nso omo kuso ene omo di nsa wo so se pe ya saa na ema omo hihye no eni nyina no so omo pe na no omo atumi ejaye wo ho no me no ka se de eja no eduma omanfo a omo pe na no omo guso e pe na e wo saa bia e ho no ma meken ama ne bono esi
Michael Obafo
Minia
Moni adwuma
medase
Osafo Ensancho ni Michael Akrofi ne dia man bono ebre yen chene no
Why you be paying now?
Oh, why not?
Okay.
Those days kissie chipa kissie no wo bonu mu ko a sa wo hwese na wadwi e wa no na hu se
Oh, okay. I'm bonija.
Bonija jane kan sa wisi no we pi this year.
It's not for East Legon na coaching. I'll say for you me so afa. Yet wakasi bono eso Programs Director Emma CDD Ghana Paul Nana Mensa wakasa ede atudwa say mrahye bedwafo wonom ene akoko ahodo ewo memu civil society organization omayo nkofa no munkita hodie no eyade a ekoyie pa.
Mr. Speaker, over the course of this Fourth Republic, Parliament, in keeping with its rightful role as the People's Assembly, and for that matter, the most popularly accessible and representative branch of government, has developed and enjoyed a productive working relationship with civil society. CSOs have helped to inform and educate the Ghanaian public about the business of work of Parliament, supported parliamentary service and successive classes of MPs to build capacities relevant to their multiple mandates and functions of lawmaking, oversight, and representation. CSOs work closely with and supply various knowledge products to MPs and committees of Parliament to help improve the quality of proposed legislation. CSOs have also undertaken periodic assessments of the performance of Parliament and MPs. While this last activity of CSOs has not always been welcomed by MPs and Parliament, CSOs and Parliament have come to appreciate that occasional respectful disagreements is an inevitable part of their encounters and engagements, and that this too is healthy for the progressive evolution of our parliamentary democracy. Mr. Speaker, Parliament indeed has come a long way in these last 30 years. The Fourth Republican Parliament is the first and only parliament in our history to reach adulthood. With the coming of age of Parliament, naturally, increased expectations from citizens, the people of Ghana still look up to Parliament to keep oversight and check and balance the executive, protect the public purse, and diligently scrutinize proposed legislation and international contracts and agreements, among other things. In short, substantial parts of the burden of making our democracy work and making it work for the people rest on the shoulders of Parliament. Continued public faith in our democracy depends to a large extent on the success of Parliament in meeting the democratic expectations and aspirations of the people. We in civil society are committed to standing with the people, and for that matter, with Parliament, to ensure that our parliamentary democracy indeed delivers for the people.
March Busme away in the Tosso in Siena, my Ghana, and Yemfinshia, Adusia, Ensia, 66 years, and I'm so a fastest from Co, because to a Ghana Fanana. Na incrementum penfetches a fidiano, because to a war tema, no nam so swafwa, or incrementum no estonable Henry Corte, and the Kuahudo Esia, which is the Uina Fuami and Sandy Estiwanomo SCC tema, and impatable.
March Bosome de Tosunsia won fie pini ne aduonu miensan mu mechere March 6, 2023 na omanti asema Ghana yenya ye fa hodie free bonifita ensam wo no na yenya mfinhia aduosiansia enti ye baba be hye ho fan no eye 66 Independence Day celebration. Na enkramante musuafo akire mu afi wedie no enya de bebobbo chenku e wo mantem mu mansiri mu wankranhwea so na afi wo mode aye Independence Parade ni nyina na emum no ye bekwa koboa ya no se yafunu ba ko mu ma e Tema Metropolitan Assembly ho no mo enti wo mo edi Operation Clean Your Frontage e ba be hye so e Tema na ntwea so na ne wo mo siesie montene so ma montene so ate se nwan efin ba kokora ni wo no mo pese wo de nani ko twa bisi ana hwene santem ebehu wo ho no enti nkramante musuafo onmunyamfo enrekote ese one abankra chempanifo agodo zoom lion adwumakuo no nananom ne nananom atrankonwa adehye a wo no mo Tema ntwea so na afei empanifo mo boa no ne dwumadie ensam so beka wonto apamano na ne wo mo edi asiesie adwumadie no ahyehyɛ so efiri March Bosome de to so mienu de kwa ne nan so no mo ama montene so ate e Tema mpota mu nti wode adesede e so abankra chempanifo adwadifo ene mo ye adwuma wodo nyina ne adehye Tema nyina se edane dru so na so mo ye asiesie adwumadie no a wo mo enje twi ene tredempie montene so no mo na meboa wo mo se ne be ye ni so ade hunu no e be wie peye pa
so we hwa encheye o mampanyi aboye nkoko state-owned enterprises. Yanuma ya banjuma nyina say ampa efamu nye enti yenhwe na yen cut costs. Na kane no na nke wo mu nyina ye no mo assemblies. Na ye hwe ye no so omo ye ne saa eka no wosoro. Nti ayese afide ye de nyina bebom ni abe ni tamamantem. Ye fa 6 March no so ona ye de siesie tema. Ni aye no kama. Operation Clean Your Front ye ma mesiesie omo fie ni mimo. Ye ma mesiesie omo companies ni mimo. Na mom no won wankasa na be yo ni abo omo. Na fare yo aba. See, enumuni nyama ye be ye on the 2nd, on the 3rd, on the 4th. Ape motorway ube wi aso nse de hotie. Ye be yi cars nchese cars 60 kwan so ha na ye be yi nyina. Na ye wi a ye ni GPR to fo akasa. Ye ni ye ma na kasa. Ye nyomu gidigidi. Ye sro mu. Ye ni se kromu ayeyi kakra. Wo mu nko dwom no mu ndi dwa. Trotro for so enko station ho no mu loadu eno a na ye hwehwe. Na ye nyina ye mfa ntuma emo ye ntuma no na tamamantem enye kama.
NDC amanyoko no abie nominations mu we no ebokwan atwo no am obi opese ogina eprimahye bedwa anampotu franka edema NDC amanyoko no otumi ekofa forms ni bi no ofele edeko kane mampani Owura John Dramani Mahama akofa ne de na wo chese kane vice chancellor Emma University of Professional Studies woni ononyamfo Joshua Alabi woni NDC adwamtenafo enso omo mantamantam no ene kambo mu a wonom ejina kane mampani Owura John Dramani Mahama anemu ekofa forms no ema no
Mebo so me that also do me and some fien pene aduonu mi ensen wa fi we mu NDC amanyoko no beko okon anim primaries no ho asem na mekan sada na abato e beko so no eye abato a omba beto na ne empanifo mpese wo mo epre frankatufo ni dibre e na afenso wo mo pre emrahye bedwa ni dibre e wa amanyoko ni din mu no wo mato abayi wo mo na fien pene aduonu nan abato e de be hye so wo mamu ni nyina mu no wo matimi agina party ni din mu na wato aba e de ama wonnom enti mprempren Kane Vice Chancellor de University of Professional Studies enkramante mu famu de e na afi wono aso esan leading member de ma NDC amanyoko no Professor Joshua Alabi woni enipa baaso a wono mo eye titinafo e wo NDC amanyoko ni din wo mantemantem ahodo wo mantiasema Ghana mu eni omo chidifo akwakopeke nomination forms a esum Ghana cedi no empimaduonum 50,000 e wo mampani dada John Dramani Mahama ni dinimu e wo party headquarters no no wo enkran na wagina prefrankatufo ni dibre omo didi senkunim de ne bekode ama no e de NDC amanyoko no akokon anim e wo mfiepene ne aduonu nan e de nkunim e de ama party no a efise omo gidi se wono e na ba be yi o my Ghana efri mpente nkwate a ye nan mu no emu.
Ghanaians are not only asking for the NDC to come back, but they are asking for a well-experienced leader. In this game, the current economic crisis in this country, leadership counts. Two keywords: leadership counts. And if leadership comes, then experience is the key. One who has done it before, and one who is very humble. Fortunate for us in the NDC and in the country as a whole, we have somebody like that. And we can't afford to allow him to sit down whilst we have a very huge challenge, tax to settlement. So we are here to pick his form and to work for him. I'm very confident that come 2024 December, January 2025, NDC will be forming the new government. And the NDC will be forming the new government under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Nomination forms omkoto ye headquarters wono no. Communications Director de NDC amanyoko no kakra isamwa wono energy bankers draft ni nyina na wo wie ye no nomination forms no share Professor Joshua Alabi ene ne nkae form ba ye nyina ensemu ani nyina no mu gina mampani dada John Dramani Mahama dinimu eto ye ema no.
We are ready. You've got your money. So I hand you the receipt for your money. Thank you very much. And then the documents that you will fill and bring to us in a month's time in triplicate. Please remember to fill it fully. Remember to fill it accurately. And remember that at the end, when we have looked through, we will vet your candidate. So tell him to prepare for all that. With this, I wish you the very best. Our people are waiting for liberation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, to our customer bonus for the more call Zizera a cra a war German South. Mention a war Bonomantam no emu. Now oko share Presby Junior High School one more. We classroom block pa nkwala school nkwada etemusia dia. Usiana asefem. Na teacher for no kra de. One staff room no eduase. On the teacher for area on staff room. Oh say the kon enkoyie kra anti aban entwene ni mehwe.
Zera Presby JHS no e wo German South mensin ni mu e wo Bonomantamu okwo no ma classroom ankwada no etena musua de no e ya de a ne nyina so no nya kura ye omonyo JHS classroom a wo motena musua de no e ya de a efom ho no no ye nsamente ho no enti hu sa abo no etuetuamu a ma kyeresa kyerefo ene adesuafo no so wo nam so sanso so wo mo etena wo no mu na akwakoye buache bidin e de amom e ma adesua ne ade kyere no e ye din yie pa afensu ntokuya ensisi ntokuya no ena afensu apunu bi ansi ano enti aboa bia ebowura mu edi hu ba beja enkwada no so e ma sukuu kokora anya akono ma nkwara no ne akyerkyerefo nyina
ye school ne de ne tebia ne de nya kama ye sili ni nyina abubu ena nzuo so to a egu ha ena mboma ne so hwini apia so etindo ye wo ha mponche ye pon ye kwa mponche ba bani ni gu ha nzuo to a otinta ha ise afesu mboma ni ne mboma no so beble nye haya tutu yesu mendi so tutu
teachers for no ba je se da bia ye kofa carpenter for bana o ma ba wo bo mo nkondwam nti ye brepa mo moe una class akra wan he ya abo na papa egua no betima tie bi so ama na yenyan scan san yare ne ma so ni ska afesu ye school dan no enye kura se nchanse no nwia no ba bia gugu na no dua ba ko bi buye ama ne bo madam fu bi na so high say ni na
be pass so abe boss no be pinne yehu ba bi de ekọ ne de eba teacher for eba ye ni ba bi te e say ye office ne bia ya wo beto ya asie haya ne ye transfer to a yi say ye force ko kankra no dan no so nso to ne semframa no bo fi say ya mu nyina afo titrofone 2 class no middle class no o mo apaso ama famba bi da ho a nchense nkata wonti computer asem but ena say any network no teacher for your course a enye ye just bibia ye for motor yakọ the nearest community boda if you course be 5 kilometers and send work ko dura akoye de so ye no wasen aba ye
ewie abusuafo ne ha na mre eme kwan ama anwumre kasebo ewo UTV so ewo enkran abeka junction yede ni nyina esie na meka musamatra de ehye me Palace African Styles wonom ene pam ye omoya ade pa omo number ne 0243 961 384 0243 691 384 ye 691 384 ye domo ase na Living God Salon enso eye misi Adama Santoa the number is 0244 82 96 82 0244 82 96 82 ye da boafo nyina asemitin e di afia e di tumwa no sa
David Ofori Safoye so see ye dem ko NLA Rastamia ukwa so ye midweek e ma